Hello. You'll notice this paper is called Polynomial Notes. You have another piece of paper over there that's your that's your assignment for the day. You'll do that after you've done this part. We will do this part tomorrow and this part Wednesday. This is your note paper for the whole week, so please do not lose it. Really quick, we're just going to do a quick refresher about polynomials before we start adding. Oops, that says B. Quick refresher, poly means many, nomials means term. So it's a term with many things inside of it. Couple of reminders. You should always write these things with the highest degree first and then down from there. So for example, right here, you'll notice this says 5n squared plus 6n cubed. This should actually be written 6n cubed plus 5n squared. Doing this will help you in the next part. Now, when you are adding polynomials, the most important concept and the easiest thing to get wrong is adding things that you cannot add. So we'll write this as a simple rule. Different exponents cannot be added or subtracted. So for example, you cannot add n cubed to n squared, no matter how much you want to. It doesn't work. It is not logically sound. Don't do it. So there are basically two ways to set up this particular problem. I'm going to talk you through both of them. I'm going to do it kind of the more proper way first, and I'm going to do that with number 3 as my example. Now, I recommend you set up these problems the same way that you set up your math problems in the 4th grade. So we're going to do a big equal line down here. Oh, that's a little low. I'm going to raise it up a little bit. And put a plus sign right there. So let's go ahead, rewrite this one into standard form. So the highest exponent first, in this case, that's the 2. So we're going to write 5m squared plus our next highest exponent is 4m minus 6. That's the lowest exponent. In fact, it's so low there isn't even one there. Plus, go ahead, take our next one and just write it down here. So it's going to be negative m squared plus 7m. And you'll notice this one doesn't have anything for right here. There is nothing else for this particular polynomial. Is that okay? Absolutely. If you're stressed about it, you can add a plus 0. That's always fine. You can add a 0 term to anything. Let's go ahead and write that as another rule. So then from here, we just go ahead and add it column by column. So let's start first with the 5m squared minus m squared. Remember, if there isn't a number there, there's always a 1. So it's going to be 5m squared minus m squared will give you 4m squared. The m squared part stays the same. It's the variable. It doesn't change. What changes is the number attached to the variable. That's a very common mistake I see too. Let's keep going. You're going to have 4m plus 7m. That's going to be 11m. And negative 6 plus 0, that will be minus 6. Notice it did not affect that 6. So we'll add a plus sign there, and there is our answer. I'm going to go ahead and just rewrite it to the side. 4m squared plus 11m minus 6. Another way that you can do this problem, I recommend doing it this way once you feel a little bit more comfortable, is to look at your problem And I like to underline the things that match. So for example, we have 5n squared. Oh, I see we have another 5n squared over here. Those two match. I've underlined them the same way. Now we go to 6n cubed. Does that have a match anywhere in the problem? No, it doesn't. So I'm just going to put one line underneath there, and then we have 5 that also has no match. So we can go ahead and underline that as well. From here, we simply combine like terms. Let's start with the highest degree first. That'll be the 3. That's the highest degree, the highest number. So we can start there. 6n cubed. That has nothing with anything else, so it's not going to change. Plus, now we'll go to the next highest degree. 5n squared. Oh, we have 2 of those, so we add those together. So that will become 10n squared. Resist the temptation to write this 10n to the 4th. That's bad. Don't do that. You don't add the exponents. Those stay the same. You only add the numbers in front of the letters. Plus, our last thing that has nothing to do with anything else, 5. There is our answer. Now, subtraction is exactly the same, but the only difference is instead of adding, you subtract it. So let's go ahead, look over at number 4. Number 4, we're going to go ahead and set it up the same way we did to number 3. So let's go ahead and turn it into like a big 4th grade style subtraction problem. So we'll draw a big line down here and add the subtraction sign right here. And let's just line up our columns so they match. So we're going to have 7x to the 4th. I put the biggest degree first, plus 7x cubed. This is positive right here. There's no negative sign, so it's going to stay positive. Minus 5x. Minus 3x to the 4th. Minus 8x cubed. Now, you'll notice the negative 5x doesn't have anything. If you're worried about that, you can always put a 0x. You can add a 0 term to anything. 0 times x, what would that be? Well, 0, so it's the same thing as adding nothing. From here, we just subtract it column by column. 7x to the 4th minus 3x to the 4th. That will be 4x to the 4th. 7x cubed minus negative 8x cubed. Ooh, notice we have a double minus sign here. We're subtracting a negative. That will be the same thing as adding, so that will become plus 15x cubed minus 5x does not change. There is our answer. Now, if you want to try to do number 2 the same way we did number 1, watch out for this minus sign. It's kind of tricky, okay? So let's go ahead and do number 2 the same way we did number 1. So let's first look for the highest degree I see. Oh, that's a cubed. So I'm going to go ahead and underline our cubed. Now, the only other thing we have are just constants, so let's go ahead and underline our constants. We'll start subtracting with the highest degree. So we have negative 4n cubed right here minus 3n cubed. So that will become negative 7n cubed. Then we also have 7. I'm going to get rid of my green marks that I just made. 7 minus 1 becomes 6, positive 6. Sorry, I messed up. And there is our answer. So in essence, what you need to do, I'm just going to go ahead right down here and just write the steps. Match the degrees. Add or subtract like terms. And then make sure your answer is in standard form. I will be around tomorrow to answer any questions that pop up. I will also make sure that I have the answer key posted for this particular assignment. I will only post, no, the answer key is already posted. You're good, okay? Feel free to email with any questions.